You are live. All right, here we go. It is time to get started. So first, oh my goodness. First of all, I want to say thank you all for coming. Let me get this set up for you. Thank you all for being here, and welcome to the Bag Ladies of Ebondale cover reveal. So this is a real exciting time for me, and I'm just really glad that you all are here to share this with me. So again, thank you all for coming. I know that your time is valuable, so I'm going to try to keep this to 30 minutes, as I said, because I don't want to hold you all longer than necessary. I'm going to leave some time for Q&A at the end, but we'll try to get through the presentation to make sure that I can answer any questions you have, either about the book, about myself, or about writing and publishing in general, because a lot of folks have asked me about the writing process, what that entails, and even the publishing process. So I'll try to answer any of those questions that I can. So I'm also going to talk about the book, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the Ladies of Ebondale. I'm not going to give you a whole lot, but I'll give you a little sneak peek into these ladies. Then I'll do the cover reveal. Woo! And then at the end, we're going to spin the wheel for one lucky winner to win a $25 Amazon gift card. Don't spend it all at once, okay? Because, you know, you can do a lot with $25. All right. So I'm going to start off telling you a little bit about me. So my early life, and if any of you read my book, Ruby Slippers, then you kind of understand this. It was really kind of chaotic, right? I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. South Side, I was born in the actual Woodlawn community before I moved into the North Kenwood, Bronzeville community. And so during that time, my early years, I was bullied a lot. But what that did was it made me become a writer. I loved to write because it gave me a way to escape, okay, some of that craziness that was going on. At 10 years old, I literally sat down and took my school notebook paper, which I didn't have a lot of, but I wrote a 30-page book, what I called a book. And I put it in an envelope, and I sent it to Harlequin. And I asked them, I was like, please, please publish my book for me. And of course they rejected it because it was handwritten, but I gave them this note that said, I just want to take my mama out of poverty. I want to buy her a home. They rejected it. But what they did was they actually encouraged me to keep writing. And so although they said no to publishing my little 30-page handwritten book, they encouraged me to keep writing. And I was thrilled. Can you imagine 10 years old getting that kind of note? And so that encouraged me to keep writing. And so anybody on here who grew up with me back in those days, you know, I was a constant writer, right? And so went through life, I was determined to become a writer. But of course, life started lifing as I got older. And so I excelled academically in school, but because some things were going on at home, I ended up making a series of bad mistakes. And at that time, by the time I was 21, I had 3 kids. I was a single mother. I was on welfare. But one of the things I refused to do was to give in to my circumstances. And so I got a job. I got a really good job at that time. And it allowed me to build up my career and work my way out of those circumstances. And eventually, I went back to school. I got my degree, and I just pulled myself up. Throughout all of that, though, the one thing that never waned was my desire to write. So I self-published my first book called Ain't Understanding Mellow. Some of you may know about that book. I contributed to an anthology in 2007 called The Shattered Glass Effect. And then I actually published another book called Ruby Slippers. Many of you may know about that book. And that was actually my personal memoir. And then because I did not want to be in a position where I had to publish under someone else's imprint, where they owned my work, me and my husband founded Scribe Right Publishing so that we will publish under our own imprint. I will own my own work. So eventually I'm going to do some YouTube videos to talk about that, but that's very important for me to own my own work. Outside of all of my writing endeavors, I worked in social services for 24 years. And I did a lot of projects for young people where one of the things I did was I poured into their creative talents. And we did things like mock trials, and we even did short movies. And then I personally wrote and co-produced a short movie with my husband, and some of the folks that are probably in this chat were a part of that short movie called Roses Out of Concrete. So, and you know, I love spending time with my grandbabies. And I also have a dog named Bruno Mars, Pomeranian, who you all have seen many pictures of. He is spoiled rotten. All right, so enough about me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this book. So in the Bag Ladies of Ebondale, this book is talking about lifelong friends who join a unique therapy group called the Bag Ladies. So this is a situation where, or a group where it's a therapeutic group for women to talk together, to unleash a lot of their burdens together, right? And these are good friends who are in this therapy session. It's a what do I call it? It's almost like an experimental therapy session. The problem is, as normal, when women come together or when people come together in a group setting like that, you get a lot of tension. And there was a lot of tension as some hidden resentments start to come out during their sessions. But through all honesty, these women confront some of the deep-seated pains, and they offer mutual support to each other that helps them overcome their own issues of low self-esteem, past abuse, insecurities, and a lot of other deep-seated issues that come to the surface. The one thing this novel does is it highlights the resilience and the power of friendship and the strength that is found in sisterhood to lighten emotional burdens, but it also promotes personal growth, self-accountability. And I think that's something that we all can identify with. So I want you to meet the ladies of Ebondale. So again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I just want to give you a brief overview of who these ladies are. So you're going to meet Josie, and Josie's a small business owner. And she's the kind of woman that has these big dreams. She has very high expectations, but she also goes after what she wants, no matter what or who stands in her way. And sometimes that can be a problem. Brianna is a very protective person. She loves her friends. She's fiercely loyal to her friends. The problem is, though, as she's protecting others, who's looking out for and protecting her? And I know sometimes, you know, a lot of us can identify with that as well. We're pouring into everyone else. Who's pouring into us? Who's looking out for us? London is a perfectionist at her job. I mean, she is an organizational wizard. She's not so much in her love life. She just wishes she had that kind of organization in her love life, because if she did, everything would be perfect. And then Mia's a little bit younger, you know, what many of us would probably call a millennial. But this sister is just as driven as her older friends. The problem is she may be a little bit too driven. And so some of the decisions that she makes puts her on a road that she didn't expect to be on. And then there's a host of other supportive characters who actually round these ladies out, and it helps to tell the story of who they are, what they're trying to overcome. Some of these characters are there for their benefit, and some are not there for their benefit, if you know what I mean. So it's a very interesting tale. So I'm not going to give too much away about these ladies, but hopefully you'll get a chance to meet them. So, here we are with the cover reveal. This is the actual cover of the Bag Ladies of Ebondale. So a little bit of inspiration behind the cover itself. I wanted to make sure that this cover represented what we're talking about in terms of women, and then some of the issues and the problems that they have. And these women, if you look at them, they look pretty put together, don't they? I mean, sisters up there holding their bags, but if you look at their bags, These bags represent their baggage. And if you look at the bags, I don't know if you can see it. I hope that you can actually scroll in to see what these women are carrying in their bags. This is nothing but baggage, right? So it represents, no matter how well put together you are on the outside, if you've got baggage, it's not going to make a difference, right? Because you've got to be able to address that baggage. You've got to be able to get that stuff out of your bag so that that inner you can represent that outer you, and vice versa. It's also a picture of the cityscape. This is the community of Ebondale that they are in. And so just a quick backdrop on Ebondale. Ebondale is a fictional community in the city of Chicago, but Ebondale also represents a place that I grew up in called Bronzeville. Do I have any Bronzeville folks out there? If you are, I want you to put into the chat Bronzeville or Kenwood, Oakland. All right, I want you to put that into the chat. It represents that community. Well, that's the community that I drew inspiration from, because I love the Bronzeville community, and it's such a historical place, and it's rich with history. I wanted to make sure that this book was representative of that, and that the community itself is a character as well. And so, again, this book represents these women, their struggles, their baggage, but then the backdrop of Ebondale is prominent, and there's a reason why, and you'll see that when you read the book. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come out of this because now I want to make sure that I get a chance to look at if there are any questions or comments you can't wait to add it to your collection. Listen, and then, so not only that, so Ebondale this is a part of an Ebondale series. So there are going to be a few other stories and books that are coming out that represent the story of Ebondale. So this is part 1 of the actual Ebondale series. You said, Renee says, how about low-end babies? That's right, low-end babies. All right. So with that being said, though, I do want to get into any questions or comments that you may have. You can go ahead and put it in the chat. Did any of the ladies' names change? Nubia is asking if any of the ladies' names changed. Yes, they did, Nubia. Now, as you know, because you were there from the beginning, this book is almost 20 years old. I started writing this book. It's been almost 20 years. It may not seem like it, and I'm sorry, but that ages a lot of us, folks who know me, and they started reading this book when I first started working on it. But yeah, it's been almost 20 years. And so, yes, the names have changed, and a lot of the situations have changed as well, but the story is still the same. So don't worry. The stories are still the same, but the names change, and some of the situations might be a little bit different too. Those ladies live in your head. Oh, honey, wait till you read about them now. They're really going to be living in your head. Let me go in. I'm going to see if I have any other questions in here that I may have missed. If you have questions, if you have comments, go ahead and put them in the chat, because I want to make sure that I answer everything. So let me give you a quick, I did promise that I was going to talk about the writing process because somebody asked me to cover that. So when I started writing this book, it was based off of some of the experiences that I had myself, but then women that I knew, women that I heard from. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories being told from women, and some of you probably have the same kinds of stories. And so it dawned on me one day, it was like, you know, we're always talking about and we're venting to each other about our issues, about our frustrations, about the things that we're going through. And it's like, are we getting help though? Are we really helping ourselves? Because yeah, it feels good to vent. It feels good to get it off your chest. But sometimes just venting is not enough. And there needs to be some kind of method to address those things that we're talking about. Because if not, we're just going to keep going through the same things. And so one of the things I thought about was, would it be interesting if there was a group therapy session, right? Where women who know each other, not strangers, because sometimes we can get very gun shy when it comes to talking to strangers about our problems. But if it's a group of women that come together who normally hang out, because women, what do we do when we hang out with each other anyway? We vent, we gossip, I'm sorry, and if there are men For my men on here, my brothers on here, I'm so sorry. But yeah, sometimes we dish about the men. But if that's all we're doing, what are we really doing? And so coming together in a group therapy session is something that is supposed to help you dig deep into some of those issues and really address those issues. Those are surface issues that you're talking about, right? But when you have somebody who's there with you, who can guide you through all of that mess, you can kind of get down to the root of those problems. That's what the purpose of this is. And so I wanted to make sure that, number one, we represent the issues classically. And what I mean by class, well, with class, I should say it that way, because some of these are some really deep-seated, painful issues. But I didn't want to make it in a way where it's that same trope that you see all the time about women just going through things and they're dishing about men and men have done us wrong. And no, it's not about that. It's about women taking self-accountability to address their own issues, to address their own problems, and make sure they find a way to solve those problems, right? So that's what I wanted to make sure that we covered in this book. The writing process itself is a very challenging process. It's not as easy as people may make it look. We probably make it look easy because by the time you get the book, you're just reading the words that we wrote. But sometimes people don't realize the hard work that goes into writing, building a world, creating, the words, creating languages, actually creating the way people speak, just being able to create that kind of that nuance, right? For writing, world building, character building. It's a process. It is a very hard process. And so whether you're writing a fiction or a nonfiction, even if you're writing for young adults, you're writing for women, you're writing for whoever you're writing for, you have to make sure that you're familiar with the information that you're producing, because otherwise it's not going to sound authentic. So just if you're interested in writing, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to write. But the second thing I'm going to tell you to do your research. Read those kinds of books that you're interested in writing, because that's the way that you'll learn. So one of the people that I love, Terry McMillan, I love her books. And I feel like that's the kind of genre, or that's the kind of writing that I do, is a Terry McMillan type book. So you guys may be familiar with Waiting to Exhale and different things. I love that kind of style of writing. And so I read a lot of her books. Zora Neale Hurston. There's just a lot of authors out there who write in these different genres. So if you're interested in writing, learn the genre that you want to write in, and then study those authors, right? Read their books. And don't forget the indie authors, because one of the things that's very important for people to understand, just because you don't have a big publishing house behind you doesn't mean you're not just as talented as any of those other authors out there, right? So if you see authors out there and their name is published, their book is published under their name, they're a self-published author, don't pass them up. Read their books too, right? And the authors need support as well. And so finally, the last thing, the publishing process. Again, publishing is about ownership. You put all this hard work into writing, marketing, all these other things that you're doing. If you're talking about writing and you want to publish your book, make sure you own your stuff. That means buying your ISBN. That means creating your own imprint. Because if you publish under someone like Amazon, if you publish under Ingram Spark, but you don't own the rights, which means you don't have your own ISBN, they own your work. I'll be doing YouTube videos on that, so don't worry about that kind of stuff. If you're interested in learning about writing and publishing, I got so much knowledge in my head from all this research and all this stuff that I've gone through. I am looking forward to releasing this information and getting it out of my head. So I would be happy to share that with you. And then finally, I want to make sure that there are no questions. Any questions before I move on? Because I want to get to the fun part that you all love, and that's going to be the gift card. So, you know what? I have to do this because my marketing director, aka hubby, would probably kill me if I don't do this. This is where you will find me. This is all of my my social media stuff. So, you can find me on Facebook. If you haven't joined my Facebook page, please make sure you do so. And actually, what hubby put in there was the subscription page. If you sign up, or if you go to that subscription page, number one, make sure you sign up for that. But then number two, that gives you access to all of my social media information. And I am a diehard on TikTok. You're welcome. I'm a diehard on TikTok, so you can find me almost every day on TikTok. And please sign up for the newsletter. All right, make sure you do that. Now what I want to do is I want to capture everybody's names who are here, because we are going to spin the wheel. Hold on one second, because I want to get the winner for this $25 gift card. You all are here. So give me 1 second. I'm going to get that screen for you as soon as my computer acts right. Technology, right? All right. Here we go. Get out of that. I'm sorry, everybody. Bear with me. All right. Because I need to put everyone's name into my wheel. Oh, did you? I'm sorry. I'm talking to my husband. He's in the next room, but he told me he posted everybody's name. Hey, Lena. Hey, Sonia. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, good. I have the names here. Perfect. I'm going to enter. Oh, it's a lot of names. I need to enter all of your names into this Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to enter all of your names. Can you see this? All right, let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen with you. Give me 1 second, everyone. Present, share screen. All right, here we go. All right, so now I need to enter everyone's name. I need to make sure that I have everyone who's here so that I can spin this wheel. All right. I'm typing fast, so if I misspell someone's name, please forgive me. All right. Oops. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I truly do want to thank everybody for coming. This has been a labor of love, and anyone who knows me knows how much I love to write. But I took a break. I took a long break from writing because of the death of my brother. And after that, I stopped. I could not write anymore. And so it's been years since I've done this. And so I'm back at it, and I am the happiest I've probably ever been. All right, I want to make sure that I have all the names. Am I missing any names? Any names? Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate you. Thank you, cuz. Make sure I got everybody. I think I got everybody. Oh, oh, Lena, I love you. I love you. All right, here we go. I'm going to spin this wheel, and it will land, and whose ever name it lands on, that's who's going to receive this $25 Amazon gift card. So after this is over, I'm going to reach out to you through Messenger and get your information so that I can make sure that I get this gift card to you. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, I want to make sure you can see it first. All right, here we go. All right. All right, Krista. Congratulations. Congratulations. So I will be reaching out to you so that I can make sure that we give you your gift card. Krista, do me a favor. I want you to put a comment in this box right quick so that I can grab your profile pic. Just put a thumbs up or something like that. Big money spender wheel. Yeah, I know, right? $25. Look, don't spend it all at once now. Now, of course, you can spend it on my book. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. You do what you want to do with it. Uh, all right, Krista, put something in this window for me. But at any rate, it's 6:55. We've got 5 more minutes, everybody. And I just want to make sure that I am doing you justice by, if there's any questions you have, anything else you want to know about, just let me know. Again, I appreciate you all being here. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to release